It all started with the way my best friend looked at my boyfriend. That's where everything began. With those glances I first thought were just coincidences. With laughs I told myself were just friendly jokes between old friends. But slowly, those laughs started to taste different. There was something between them, something I could feel, even if no one else could see it. My name's Sarah. I'm 19, and to be honest, until about 2 months ago, I thought my life was as normal as it gets. Senior year, a tight group of 4 who'd basically grown up together, and a love I truly believed would last forever. Arad, the quiet, mysterious, proud guy who could say 1,000 beautiful things without a single word, and Nilo, the girl everyone called the prettiest, coolest girl in school. She wasn't just my best friend, she was like a sister. And Sam, Nilo's boyfriend, kind, grounded, the one who always looked out for all of us. But after a while, everything started to shift.
The first thing that set off my alarm was a look. It was during recess. I stepped out of class and saw Nilo talking to Arid. I don't know why, but the way she looked at him, it was different. A look that lingered a second too long with a tiny smile, the kind you only give when you really want someone. For a moment, her eyes met mine, her smile vanished. A beat of silence, then she forced out a laugh and said, "Sarah, come here, Arid just said the funniest thing." But there was something behind that laugh, something that made my stomach twist, like she was trying to hide something. That night, when I got home, I scrolled through my photos. Nilo had commented under every post of me and Arid, but something about the likes felt off. She'd liked Arid's latest photo, but not mine. And a few minutes later, she deleted her story. I couldn't sleep that night. There was this voice in my head looping over and over. "No, it's just a coincidence. She's your friend. You trust her, right?" But another part of me kept whispering, "Then why does it bother you this much?"
The next day, I told myself I'd act normal, pretend like nothing had changed. But I don't know why. My eyes just kept finding them. In the hallway, out in the yard, even during lunch. Every time I looked over, there was this silent exchange between them. A flicker, a glance, something that passed too quickly to catch, but deep down, I felt it. And then it happened. The one thing I still can't think about without losing my breath. Arid was walking out of class, Nilo right behind him. I was coming from the other end of the hall. They thought no one was around. Arid turned to her, said something I couldn't hear. But Nilo, she smiled. A soft smile. Then she placed her hand on his arm. Right then, the bell rang, and I just froze. Standing there with a stiff smile glued to my face. People rushed past me, but time had stopped. That night was the first time I really doubted my best friend. But I still had no idea how far it would go. And I didn't know that the message I'd get a few days later would destroy everything. When the final bell rang that week, everyone bolted out of class. But I stayed behind. My hand still on my phone, my heart pounding so loud I could hear it. Nilo came back into the room. When she looked at me, that same Dan smile was still on her lips, the one she used to comfort me with, now sharp as a knife. "Sarah, are you okay?" "Yeah, just tired." I couldn't believe how calm she looked, how easy it was for her to keep playing her part. I didn't say a word for the rest of the day, even when Arid showed up at the door and said, "We're all going to the cafe tonight. You should come. Get some air." I looked at him. My eyes were full of questions, but his still had that same warm, confident look. And that's when I realized betrayal never starts with a kiss. It starts with a look. That night, I stood in front of the mirror. The weak yellow light filled the room, reflecting my tired eyes. All I wanted, just once, was to understand why. But then something crept in, a bitter kind of curiosity. I picked up my phone and made a fake account. Username, Mona_7. I sent Arad a simple message. Heard there's a new girl at your school. She hangs out with Nilo a lot. He replied, yeah, her name's Sarah. She's pretty naive. My breath caught. Right there, I broke. But somehow, it still wasn't over. I still needed to see the truth. The next day, in chemistry class, I came in late. Nilo and Arad were sitting together. Their laughter hit me like a hammer. Beside me was Sam. Quiet, steady Sam. He looked at me and said softly, "It's time to stop, isn't it?" "Stop what?" "Pretending." I froze. How did he know? Sam sighed. "I was at the cafe last night, Sarah. I saw them." The world started spinning. My throat tightened. When the bell rang, I left school without a word. My legs shook, but something inside me whispered, "It's not over yet." That night, I texted Nilo, "Meet me behind the gym. I need to talk to you." It was raining. Moonlight danced across the wet pavement. When she showed up, she smiled, same as always. But this time, I smiled back. "Aren't you tired of the game?" She stayed silent. "Of pretending no one can see through you?" Her eyes filled with tears. She said, "He started it. I just—" "Stop, Nilo. Just tell me why." Silence. Only the sound of the rain. Then she whispered, "Because you were always better at everything. Your grades, your family, even him. He once said, 'Sarah's special.' And from that day, I hated you." Tears rolled down my cheeks, but somehow the pain was gone. I just stood there, staring at her, and I realized betrayal doesn't always come from love. Sometimes it's born from envy. The next day, I saw Arad. He walked up to me, eyes swollen, voice shaking. "Sarah, I messed up. I swear But I just said, "No, Arad. My mistake was thinking love meant blind trust." I walked past him, and in the back of my mind, something whispered, "Never look at anyone the same way again." The bell rang. Laughter filled the halls. Life went on. But something inside me had died, and something else had finally woken up.